Hey YouTube, what goes on? Welcome to This About Action Figures live at 7:05. I'm just realized we got to turn on our little wheelie thingy. How's everybody doing tonight? So excited to be here. We are cracking open the Baron Zemo Marvel Legends Walgreens exclusive action figure, which I picked up on the Walgreens website this past week. Super fast shipping on this thing. I was pretty impressed, I'm not going to lie. Plus, it was wrapped in bubble wrap. Had some nice little air pocket pillow things in there. Did a freaking pretty awesome job. I was pretty shocked by Walgreens. Much better than what I see from places like Amazon. They just kind of throw it in a bubble mailer and ship it to you. Also, possibly even more excited tonight, I will be finally building the Gamerverse Abomination Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure. I've been slowly picking away, buying the figures with the pieces on and off over the last, I guess, year or so. Picked up the majority of that wave on clearance and then sold the figure, kept the Build-A-Figure piece. So essentially got the pieces for free for the majority of them. And if you've watched recently when we were at ZoloCon in Warminster, Pennsylvania, I finally got the leg piece that I needed from the Iron Man. Still the Iron Man laying here. Not sure I'm going to do with that quite yet, but had to pay a pretty penny for that, about $60 to get the figure with that leg. And this past weekend, although I had to miss the VR Hobbies toy show, which I was very upset about on Saturday due to the stupid friggin' snow here in Pennsylvania, I did manage to get the VR Hobbies on Sunday to execute my plan, which was to buy the Mach 1 figure to get the headpiece. So finally, we'll be assembling this tonight. We'll be looking at the Baron Zemo tonight as well, doing some comparisons with him, doing some comparisons with this, talking some AEW near the end of the show. We're going to open up some AEW figures tonight. If you're an AEW fan, you know, tonight's your St. Patrick's Day episode. We got a cage match with Britt Baker. And on top of that, we got Scorpio Sky, new TNT champion, defending against the monster that is Wardlow. So we're cracking both of these open tonight as well. I've really kind of been stockpiling my AEW. It's time to open them up, at least when they have big matches, to get them on the shelf while I enjoy the show. But before we get to that, let's see who's here in the chat so far. Lacerda Photos in the house. What's going on, man? I was feeling your NECA pain earlier, buddy, when I heard you talking about, when you were talking with me about the NECA deal. Oh, man, it's this haul-a-thon thing. Friday is going to turn into empty shelf-a-thon real fast, Lacerda. So I'm with you, man. It's very frustrating. Personally, I'm glad I'm not as into NECA as I used to be, other than picking and choosing my spots. If I came across that Demona, a gargoyle, I might pick it up. It's one of those things where if I find it, then great. If I don't need it. I think it'll be plentiful eventually, though. But yeah, Lacerda, feeling your pain, buddy, regarding the NECA stuff already. Eric's in the house. What's going on, Eric? How you doing, sir? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. Greg Miller in the house. Greg, hope you had a good vacation, man. Looks like I know Black Suit Spider-Man certainly had a great time. So that's really cool watching your photos and seeing what was going on at Universal. So very cool. Greg, hope you had a great time on vacation, sir. Four Feathers in the house. What's going on, Four Feathers? How are you doing, sir? Glad to have you here as always, man. Ripping open some plastic tonight, building some Build-A-Figures, all sorts of fun stuff. Lacerda says, yeah, especially since they started stocking and disappearing already. You know it is, man. When you only got a couple figures that pop up there, they don't sit very long. They move very quickly. So, unfortunately, that is part of the game, as you know. It's a shame it's not easier to get this stuff. Hopefully, you get lucky. One of us gets lucky. I know it's not like we can all run to Target, considering gas prices are through the friggin' roof right now. So we got to pick our battles and just hope we get lucky while we're there, man. Like we say, toy hunting's great, and if you're consistent, you tend to find what you want. But at the end of the day, it's mostly just luck. You know, unless you can find your way to get them to bring something for you out of the back, it's just right place, right time, and getting lucky. You know, it's really enjoying the journey and hoping you find stuff. Rickson Graphic Solutions, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by live at 7:05 tonight as we get ready to crack open Baron Zemo. We will be doing that first this evening, as I'm sure if anybody watches on the playback, they're looking to see that Zemo. So we'll get to that in a couple of minutes. Just waiting for more people to get here. Four Feather says, I missed out on this figure, hoping to get it next time on the restock. Yeah, because you know it's really impossible to find these in person, dude. I've stopped checking my Walgreens. I got so sick of walking in and taking the walk of shame back outside when I can't find anything on the friggin' pegs, other than maybe like Westworld figures from Diamond Select or some sort of anime thing. I don't know. There's no knock on that, but you know, other than that and Pops, that's all Walgreens got for me around here. So I've kind of just stopped checking at this point in time. Lacerda says, I might just stick with some select Mezco. Yeah, again, Mezco, I mean, they're going to take a long time to come in, but, you know, they have wide open pre-order windows for a lot of this stuff. And even if you don't get in on it, you can get on a waiting list. So I know I'm waiting on my John Constantine Mezco to come in. It's been quite a while, but we're fighting through COVID to get there. So I think that's shipping next quarter finally. So hoping to get that that Mezco in my collection. I don't have many of them, but that's what I was looking forward to. Midwest Toy Box is here. What's going on, sir? How are you, buddy? Some good finds from Midwest Toy Box this past week, guys. And again, feel free to throw what your finds are, what you're looking for, what you saw recently in stores. You know, what it is. Are you looking forward to Haulathon this coming Friday? You chasing down one of those Gargoyles figures? You chasing down the Elvira? You chasing down the 4-pack of Turtles? What are you going after? Lacerda says, I do have a new Mandalorian on the way from Target. That's awesome, man. And again, that's the way we got to do it. I'd rather find it like in hand rather than pre-order something, order it online. But again, if I know it's going to be a runaround, or if I know I'm not going to get it at all, you got to go online. It's just how it is, unfortunately. You got to roll with it. Four Feather says, William Harris Mezco is pulling me in with some of their figures. Four Feathers, they'll do that, dude. They will definitely pull you in. Near Mint Pops and Figs. What's going on? How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by the live stream. Live at 7:05 tonight. Lacerda says, new Atticus Doom from Mezco is great. Four Feathers. I don't know what that is. Is that Dr. Doom? I'm very not in the Mezco loop, unfortunately. So taking a look here at the packaging for Baron Zemo. This is part of the Super Villains, I guess you could call it, subline that they have put out. Obviously, this is not part of a Build-A-Figure wave, as we do not get a cross-sell on the back. We just got a picture of Baron Zemo, of Captain America Villainous fame, Avengers foe from their Rogues Gallery. This is a bit of a, no, it's not a redo. It's obviously a reimagining or another version of Baron Zemo. I do have the original one, which used to go for a pretty penny, sitting over here. I got that years ago at a comic shop for retail price. So they made some changes here. Obviously, the technology's improved with the arms and the legs and the different pieces that go with this thing. So we'll take a look at this. We'll get out of the package. We'll mess around a little bit. We'll do some comparisons, kind of get your overall thoughts, see what you think about it. And then we will build this big son of a bitch over here, which I'm looking forward to doing tonight. Let's see here. Any more comments coming in that we can say hello before we get cracking with this? Midwest Toy Box has found the Wolfman and Ash yesterday. That was incredible. I saw your pictures, dude. That is awesome. Greg says, hope everyone is well. Howdy, Tim. Sorry I was driving. Greg, good that you're being safe, sir. Obviously. Yeah, I'm glad that you waited to type until you were safe, buddy. Gone Toy Hunting says, good evening, all. Hello, Gone Toy Hunting. How are you doing tonight? All right, so let's rip into this. As people come in, we'll say hello. So again, this is the Walgreens exclusive Baron Zemo. No cross-sell because it is not part of the Build-A-Figure wave. Although it's part of the subline, which is, of course, the Super Villains. We get that cool kind of neon-looking sign there with that great purple and yellow that we had on the bad guys wave from the Zemnu wave. On the back, you can see here, there is our write-up. Born in the greatness and great darkness, Helmut Zemo is a man of terrific and terrible genius. The 13 Baron Zemo has sworn everlasting vengeance against his family's nemesis, Captain America. So there's a pretty cool art piece of him on the back. Always dig the side art, box art of these things. Again, I'm finally getting rid of my boxes of my Marvel Legends. Every Monday rather, is hashtag the great unboxing, the great deboxing, where I'm going through and finally getting rid of all my Marvel Legends boxes, about 10 per week. So I've been kind of posting that on Instagram every week. If you're curious what's going on there, that's what the story is going on with that. Let's see here. Four Feather says, William Harris, he's different from what I looked in the figures, but not bad at all. I pre-ordered him, the new Conan and the Barbarian upgrade pack. It's very cool, sir. Greg Miller says, Tim, I picked you up the $80 Professor. Thank you. The one I have that I haven't opened yet, which is actually literally right down here in front of me. I'm not going to grab it. It's kind of pushed back. But yeah, thank you, Greg. I'm glad you got that $80. I can't believe that. Freaking prices, man. You got to love tourist attractions, right? Omega Weapon 13 says, maybe I should have grabbed Zemo while he was up. They'll put them back up again. Just keep your eyes on it. Craig, I agree. That's hilarious, man. Lacerda says, Four Feathers. Yeah, I missed first Conan. Yeah, I'm out on that as well. All right, let's get to it here in case somebody's watching on the playback. We're about 9 minutes in already. So very excited. I was going to pass on this originally. I have the old Zemo. I don't do a whole lot with them besides let them hang out on my Army Builder shelf with my Hydra and AIM figures. However, when he popped up on the website, I figured, you know what? Might as well grab him. Because again, it's one of those things where if you wait till later, you may not get your hands on it ever. So there he is without the box around him, at least. Again, you can see color scheme would be very similar to the old Zemo. So let's get him out of his plastic prison here. Take a closer look at the sword. Obviously, we do get the 2 additional hands. That are more gripping hands, as it will appear to be. We do get the sword, which I'm very curious to see if it's a new sword or if it is the same as the old sword. We'll compare sizes, and we'll compare basically everything with the sword as well. I hate when they tuck it back here like that. I'm scared I'm going to break the gosh darn thing. So there's the sword. I'm going to leave the hands in there. Let's get him out of the plastic. Let's take a good plastic fig sniff right there as we get him out of the packaging. And you know what? Let's get the hands out there too. What the heck? Even though there's some tape here, which you know, tape is my kryptonite. Let's get the hands out. At least we can get them on camera here for later on. Getting that out of here. All right, so taking a look here. And right away, I'll tell you, he feels just sturdier than the old one, if that makes any sense at all. I just feel like he's a sturdy, well-built figure. I've watched some reviews here, so I apologize if I accidentally parrot any other reviews that we might have heard. Taking a closer look at him here before we get him the rotating base. Very well done. You know, again, it's not going to be a crazy sculpt. Obviously, you do have this sculpted across the top here for the chest. The head sculpt is actually somewhat similar to the old one, which we'll compare it to. I like how these pieces here actually are not attached. Makes it easier to move the arms. Look at the back right there. Obviously, we have them down here in the boots. These are glued, thankfully. We're not going to get that crappy Cyclops deal with the X-Men figures where they keep dropping off. He is wearing the AEW Championship belt, as you can see. So they did give him the belt. But yeah, let's take a look at him doing a 360 here, working his way around. And it's a good-looking figure. Okay, I dig it. Again, I would have missed out on it. If you missed out on it, I wouldn't be too upset. It's not as if there's anything revolutionary with this guy. We'll take a closer look momentarily. He does have the pinless arms, but he does not have pinless legs. The legs do have pins in them, as you can see. They did a nice job. Got some nice muscular action going in the back there. Again, the boots look pretty good. I do like how they have this under the arms, as I said before. The belt, I don't know. The belt kind of takes me out of it. I'm guessing that's common accurate, as that's what they're going for. Yeah, he looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. So let's take a look at the articulation, then we'll get to some more comments. We'll do some comparisons. One thing I'm very excited about this is the head. So they really are doing a great job with the Legends heads to get that attitude. You know, yeah, going left and right. Yeah, whoopee, right? But when you get that attitude, that tilt, you can really get so much expression out of your figures. I mean, I just really enjoy this. I know the U.S. Agent figure from the Disney Plus wave could do all sorts of wacky stuff. I know the Legion figure from Age of Apocalypse wave was the same. So I really enjoy having figures on the shelf because even if they're in a vanilla pose, you get that head tilt going there. It just conveys another story. As far as articulation is concerned, arms will go up, of course, to that far up. So they do a T, as you can see. You will get rotation. This rotates with it. So this is actually pretty cool. You don't have to worry about that getting in the way of anything, which is nice. That it goes around with the rotation. Elbows, that one's kind of locked. There we go. You do get that really awesome double jointed elbow that goes all the way up. That just looks freaking cool. Again, a little bit of gappage, of course, but that's great. And that's pinless. You know, the fact that that's pinless, obviously that is great that they're moving towards getting more pinless figures here in their series. As far as the legs are concerned, you do, of course, get the double jointed knee that will go all the way to the back. Stopped a little bit here by what's around the boot. Flip that back down. Obviously, feet, you get your articulation there. Ankle rocker. Do get boot cut as well. So there's boot cut there down in the leg. Thigh cut, obviously, up here. Can't really notice it too much, which is nice. As far as torso goes, going about that far forward. This is soft plastic that will bend, but I wonder if over time that'll cause any problems. As far as how far back it goes, really far back. Looks like he's trying to, I don't know, like freaking ride a horse or something there. But yeah, that's pretty decent as well. You do also get the rotation here in the waist. Hands, you do get the vertical here on the hinge. And on this side, you do get the horizontal, I believe, as it would appear. Head, obviously, all the way around. But what I really like, again, is that attitude you get with the head. That's awesome that he can do that. So pretty cool, pretty awesome. Let's get this over here. Let's get the sword in his hand. Actually, before we even do that, let's get him on the base. And let's bring over our other Zemo. And what I want to do is compare swords. I don't know why I'm so transfixed on swords. It might be because of the fact that I opened up all those Mythic Legions last week. But here are the swords. Now that I'm looking, I'm confused, which is the original. This is the original here. This is the new sword. So you can see, taking a closer look at those, very similar. In fact, I might even go as far to say they're the same. Obviously, the hilts are the same. Obviously, the paint jobs are different. This one that came with him looks like it almost has more paint on. I thought it was a gold paint at first. I believe that's just silver on there. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know why I thought it looked gold before, but you can see there is more paint on this. This looks like it's just plastic, I believe. I don't know if that's painted or not. It's kind of hard to tell. But you can see they did a better job down here with the hilts as well. So the swords came out half decent on these guys. So let's give each of them their sword here. And I'm digging it. Again, it's one of those things, if you missed out on it, I wouldn't be overly upset because, you know, it's a Zemo figure and it's cool. But on the other hand, like, I don't think there's anything that extraordinary with these that you would be missing out. This, again, is the original Zemo here, which you can see is going to be much different. You do get the holsters for the guns. The head sculpt, obviously, is different. Everything about it's different. It's a different figure. You do get these big, basically glove collars going on here. You get the flaps down here in the boots, different colors, different outfit altogether. I do like how they have the guns here with the harness. That probably is removable. So I might even try to put that on this guy just for fun and see how it would look. Head sculpts next to each other, you can see very similar, you know, similar headgear. This piece on the forehead is obviously bigger over here on the Zemo than it is over here. They do have similar side pieces on the head, but again, these are bigger than this is. Also, very loose articulation on this. I think this is Bucky cap, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, that's a different sculpt. But again, yeah, if you have the old one and you're not doing anything crazy with it posing-wise, you're just sitting vanilla on your shelf, I could see why you might just want to make a pass on this Walgreens, especially if you didn't get it when it first was put up on the website. But if you like, again, if you're a Baron Zemo fan, far be it for me to tell you not to get it. But there they are rotating. So I'll let those rotate and take a closer look at those. Let's see who came into the chat while we were ripping through some plastic here and see what's going on. So we had Alyssa say, throwing the box away. Alyssa, I'll probably keep the newer boxes and eventually get rid of the other ones. You want to compare sword sizes? Yep, that's all right, Greg. I'm just dropping it right down on the table. Flop. 4 feathers. This about, is there a calf swivel? Yes, there is. There is a calf swivel down here. So take a look there. You can see, I think I said boot swivel before, but yeah, you do get that calf swivel down below. It's hidden by those pieces of the boots, which is pretty well done. Obviously, you're not going to have to worry about seeing it, having it stick out too much. But yeah, there is one there for sure. Hey, Dark Joker's in the house. I know Dante loves when I do this. From the Infinity Equation podcast, the best podcast ever. Seriously, though, guys, you know Dante. If you don't listen to the Infinity Equation, there's something wrong with you. Go check him out every Friday night. Dark Joker's in says, Alyssa T, tell it's time to trash those boxes. Miss T. Miss T. Yes, the GF is got a. She's working me over, Dante. That's the trick. I think that she was encouraging me to buy new things at ZoloCon so that I get rid of older boxes. But yeah, I am slowly doing the deboxing. I'll keep a lot of them because again, I love the artwork on a lot, but I just literally have almost every single box still. It needed to happen. It just needed to happen. Liking these pinless figures. 4 feathers, I agree, dude. They are pretty great. Craig says he wants to do a sword contest. We'll see. That's when we do the OnlyFans page, right? Andre, what's up, Andre? He says, I'd like to complete the waves I collect. Not having this figure in my villains wave really bugs me. Gonna have to pay scalper price. Just keep checking, Andre. I mean, again, keep checking. And the big thing is toy groups, obviously on Instagram. Again, what I'll do, Andre, if I see it pop up again, I will get a hold of you as quickly as I can. Or put something on the Instagram page. You know, again, I saw a lot of them popping up online. That's how I found out. Matthew Becker in the house. What's going on, Matt? I'm doing well. How are you doing, sir? Just cracked open our Baron Zemo. Went through, did a little basic review of him here and comparing to the other version of him. Alyssa says all the boxes in the trash. We're getting there. Not all of them, but we're getting there. 4 Feather says, Andre, don't do it. Be patient. They'll restock. Yeah, I agree. Don't pay the scalper price. Give it some time and see what happens. So we did our comparison with these. Again, obviously the newer one is the superior figure. That's going to be, you know, I think a pretty common statement, but just for funsies, because I don't use this a whole lot, because I don't get a lot of MCU anymore. I know this guy probably will not stand, but let's see if we can get the MCU Zemo for fun in these horrible shoes that are probably going to make him fall over up here for a bit of a size comparison. He's definitely not going to stand. Oh, man. These things, man. This guy looked cool at the time, but now, like, the coat, you just can't get a broad base with the legs. Let's make them stand real weird and creepy. Let's try this. I got them kind of bowed out. Okay, that might work. So there is our MCU Baron Zemo. from the Falcon, aka Captain America, and Winter Soldier TV show. So, and of course from the Marvel Civil War Captain America movie. You can see he is shorter, he is smaller. I actually would, if you look at all three of these, actually, you could pretty much see that the newest one's the tallest, slightly shorter than this one here from the original. And I even feel like there's a possibility that MCU one isn't that, he's a little bit shorter than that guy. Plus the proportions are smaller, the head is smaller on him. That's the first time I put that head sculpt on him, actually. I have the Daniel Bruhl, whatever his name is, the actor's name. I have his head sculpt on all the time on my MCU shelf because it's such a great head sculpt. But this actually looks pretty badass now that I'm looking at it. So there are 3 Baron Zemos, at least the 3 I have in my collection. I know there's some other ones that might have been in the older, back in the older, darker days that weren't too great. But as you can see, not too shabby, not too shabby. Dark Joker's in laughing. Greg, disavowed OnlyFans. Hey, I'm not monetized on YouTube. I guess I gotta make money somehow, right? I buy that for $1. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, there they are. Not too bad. I'm okay with it. No buyer's remorse or anything. Maybe a little bit of buyer's remorse because I don't quite know where or how this is going to work out. This guy was, oh, there it goes. That was a rookie mistake. These guys are, again, were pretty expensive at one point in time. So I'm not going to get rid of it. I don't know. Maybe it's worthless now because of the fact the new one came out. I honestly could not tell you. I am not sure. But we'll get these guys off to the side for now. So put the older Zemo back there. He's probably going to eventually take a dump and fall. There's one more closer look here at the newer Zemo with that great kind of head tilt going on. I'm digging that. Is this something I'm going to consider for a top 10 figure of the year 2022? It is not. I don't think there's anything that great about this that's going to lend itself to being involved in that discussion. But again, if you are big on the bad guys wave, like Andre said, I can see why you would want this in your collection, and I'm pretty glad I have it. So I'll be honest, I'm just as pumped, if not more, to build this guy than I was to open up that guy. I've been so pumped to get this. Again, it's been a slow burn getting all these pieces together to do the Abomination. I know everybody hates the head sculpt. I get it. Whatever. It is what it is, right? But as I started seeing this wave showing up over at GameStop on clearance, and this is back before Shang-Chi came out, and we all knew the Abomination was in Shang-Chi. Even though this is not an MCU version, I really wanted to get my hands on it in case it like blew up in price. I did not know at that time how friggin' expensive it would be to get that other leg for the Iron Man, with the Iron Man figure. But I eventually bit the bullet at ZoloCon. Actually, Dante was there, Archie, the whole crew was there hanging out. And it was up for 65. I talked the person down to 60 even. So I did buy that Iron Man for $60, mostly for this leg. I doubt I will keep the Iron Man. I'd have no real need to at this point in time. However, we'll see what happens. So there it is. We're going to build this guy. Let's have some fun. Let's rip through it. Does anybody else have this in their collection out of curiosity? If you do, with the head, outside the head was standing, what are your thoughts? And actually, while I'm thinking of it, I do have the Mach 1 back here, which I haven't opened yet. I might keep him. Really quickly, looking at the cross-sell in the back. Didn't need to get Captain America. Iron Man, I mentioned I got for $60 at the toy show. Bought her for like $9 at a GameStop. Couldn't even sell her. Nobody wanted her. So she's still laying up there in a box. So I got the Build-A-Figure piece for her. Captain Marvel, I bought him. I was going to keep him. I got him for $13 at GameStop. Ended up deciding just to sell it. Actually, I think I made a couple bucks. Kept the leg and sold the figure on eBay for more of a retail price since I got it for clearance and I got the leg for free. Mach 1 obviously is here in my hand. He is part of the original Thunderbolts. I might keep him. I bought Rage, same thing. I kept the Build-A-Figure piece. That would have been the arm. And I sold Rage, probably made a couple bucks or broke even, got the piece for free. And I kept the Leader. But also Leader was like $10 at GameStop. So really the majority of these figures I got on clearance and either sold them and kept the Build-A-Figure piece or I wanted to keep them anyway. So it made sense to build this eventually, to get it in hand, to see what we could do with it over time. So let's get ready to build this sucker. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. So let's get the torso here. One cool thing I noticed with this is that I didn't know it has butterfly joints. And I thought it was very cool kind of seeing the inside of what it looks like and how the butterfly joints work. I guess they're hinged here, and obviously that's just pretty neat. I thought that was kind of cool. the way they did that. There's the back piece, really cool spines on this thing going through the back. But thought that was neat how you can see the inside part. So let's get this out here, the chest part. We'll put that on first to make sure we do get that set up the way it's supposed to. There's the neck piece. Always get nervous popping these together. They're not going to hear a peg crack or snap. So making sure I got those lined up, the bottoms lined up, the tops lined up. That was a heck of a pop. I thought I broke something. I got terrified there for about a split second. That sucker popped together. I would not want to pull this apart after it went together. Let's get the leg going here. So again, I know that for the legs, you do put that talon piece on the inside for the leg. So that's going to go in. You're not going to get a very satisfying pop, but you are going to get it to go in there. Other leg on this side, same thing. Get that on there. No problem getting it on. No pop sound, but it did work out. You can see this is a big boy. This is the reason I wanted to get this guy. So before we get the head and the arms on there, we'll stand him up here and get an idea what we're dealing with. So you can see he's a big son of a gun. I was pretty pumped. Again, just the sheer size of this thing for the prices that I was able to get the pieces for, I was pretty excited about. Dante says, best Abomination we've gotten so far. That's why I grabbed them, Dante. Again, I know people throw hate at the head, so I'm glad to hear that is something that you've heard or you think about as well, because I don't have an Abomination either, and I figure this is the best one to get, being a Build-A-Figure, and also the fact that, you know, it could be continuing to go up in value. It doesn't hurt to have a valuable, big, chunky Build-A-Figure here in my collection moving forward. Joseph Michaels, the adventurous Joe, says, what's up, This About Action Figures? Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by and hanging out tonight. If you wanted to see the Bayard Zemo, we built him already, so you can catch that in playback if you like. But we're just building the Abomination here. Forfeither says, just the pieces laying on the turntable make it seem quite the beast of the figure. He's a big boy for sure. He's a big guy, big, chunky. This is how Build-A-Figures should be. Big, chunky dudes, right? All right, so let's get our other arm. We'll pop that in over here, over here, as Cartman would say. Get that in place. I think it's in there pretty good from what I can tell. Again, you're not going to get a pop sound or anything, but it will go in there very smoothly from what I can tell. And our other arm, popping that in here. Same thing, a little bit of pressure to get it in there. Oh, actually rotated a little too far. Here we go. So let's see if we can get that to go in. Having trouble with that one for some reason. There we go. I think I got it. All right, so that appears to be in. So we have everything going. Last thing is the headpiece. Kind of has that weird barbell deal, whatever you want to call it, on top. And I always get worried about breaking it when it's something like that. So let's get the head in there. I'm going to do this off camera because I don't want to take a chance on breaking that friggin' piece for the neck, because the head does not seem to want to go on very well. And we didn't come this far to break this thing, especially on camera where I curse and lose my friggin' mind. All right, we got the head on there. You make sure it's on all the way, and it is. And here he is in all of his friggin' scaly, giant-ass glory. There is our friggin' Abomination. And this thing is gigantic. Holy smokes. I knew this guy was going to be big, but he is much larger than I even expected. So suddenly, now having no buyer's remorse, having picked up that Iron Man figure at the ZoloCon, this thing's great. So taking a closer look here. And yeah, it's awesome. Dante, I agree with what you said, man. It's great. It's again, it's tall. It has a lot of mass to it. Articulation, if you're curious, look at the wingspan on the arm. That is crazy how far that arm's going to go. That comes in. Then as far as the elbow, very smooth joints too. You do get articulation here, rotation. It's not a double jointed elbow, but it basically goes very far in. The hands themselves are gigantic. This is freaking cool. I'm very excited I got this. I don't know where the shelf it's going to go. Maybe it's going to go in the background back there somewhere. This arm is a little stuck. I don't know if I want to force this and have an issue. Up there it goes. Okay. So that arm again as well. Got the articulation going on. The head is what it is. People have been, this thing's so big, I keep taking it off camera. As far as the articulation in the knees, double jointed knee. So even for a big figure, it goes very far. Very smooth rocker here on the feet. And you do also get the rotation here at the ankle. So all things considered, this thing is friggin' incredible. I am very excited to have gotten this. Oh, and the best part, I think this is incredible. Friggin', is this the first time we've gotten a Build-A-Figure that actually has the butterfly joints? Check that out. How friggin' amazing is this? He's all like, yo, come at me, bro. I mean, he might give a bitch smack back there to Mr. Hyde. Okay, he barely cleared it. But I did not know this had butterfly joints until I watched some reviews earlier today in anticipation of building this, just to make sure there weren't any tricks I needed to know. And this might be one of my top 5 favorite Build-A-Figures in my collection. Oh, boom, I said it. I said it. I threw it out there. We ran the gamut, and I said it. This thing is freaking huge. Put a skull in that hand, sir. I can do that for you. Hang on one second here. Greg asked, did you say you needed to build it? Like, did you have most of the pieces? Over time, Greg, I had to buy these. Yeah. So over time, between clearance and everything else, I did pick up these individual pieces. Actually, I'm sorry. I bought no individual pieces. I bought the figures that with the piece. So I didn't just buy an arm or a leg. I did buy the figures as I went through in order to get these pieces to build it. Joseph says, nice. This version of the Abomination was actually way better compared to the last one they did of him years back. All right. I see. Glad to hear that I built this because a lot of people are giving positive feedback regarding this figure. I'm happy about that. Forward says, or maybe have him palm the head of another figure. Oh, dude, we're getting crazy here now. Andre says the vulture is his favorite BAF. Andre, are you serious, man? Those wings. Oh, the wings. All right, let's see. Let's get this guy going here. So let's give him a skull. This skull's probably not even going to... Oh, okay, I was going to say it might be too small to put in his hand. There you go. Don't say I don't try to do what you ask. There we go. There he is holding a friggin' skull. These skulls are great. These came with the Mythic Legion's Krampus. Yeah, Mythic Legion's Krampus. That's pretty freaking incredible. I'm digging it. All right, let's see if we can slide him up. And for size comparisons, let's get... I was going to use the Green Hulk, but I realized I haven't busted this guy out in a while. And honestly, he's probably my favorite Hulk is the Target exclusive Red Hulk. Because I got him right before the pandemic basically started by having him put on hold at an Allentown Target. I got very lucky there. A very helpful employee hooked me up. But there he is. You can see he is much larger than the Hulk base body is than that. So big friggin' chunky Build-A-Figure. It's awesome. I'm so happy to have it in my collection at this point in time. So we're about 31 minutes and 50 seconds in, believe it or not. And I do, as much as I want to mess around with this Abomination some more, I do want to talk a little bit of AEW, and I do want to crack open some AEW figures because tonight's a big night if you're an AEW wrestling fan. It's their St. Patrick's Day show. We're getting a cage match between Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, facing off against Thunder Rosa. Hoping Thunder Rosa finally gets the title. She has earned it through both kayfabe and real life actions. Also, we are getting a TNT Championship match tonight where we're getting Wardlow facing off against Scorpio Sky. So again, I wanted to do the Marvel Legends in front of everything else, just in the event anybody is not a big AEW fan, especially if you're watching on the playback. I wanted to get that out. So let's do one more comparison. Let's get our awesome Red Hulk. Greg, I agree. That is one of my favorite figures in my collection. I only had that one opportunity to get it, and thankfully it worked out in my favor. So there he is. And I'll tell you what, we got a Skrull laying back here. Another exclusive figure from the Hasbro Pulse team. So there is our Skrull. And you can see the Skrull's head doesn't even quite reach the chest of this friggin' Abomination figure. So yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. And I think I got to do one more comparison before we get to the AEW figures tonight. Let's get this guy back here next to my new business cards, thanks to the GF. And let's get my top favorite figure of 2021, Ursa Major, out here. And if you're curious how he stacks up against Ursa Major, he makes Ursa Major look small. He makes it look like Ursa Minor instead of Ursa Major. So again, this might be one of the biggest figures I have as far as Build-A-Figures. I'm not going to pull that guy out. Plus, he's not technically a Build-A-Figure. You can see he's much bigger than the Venom pool that is back there. So yeah, this dude is incredible. I'm very happy. I indulged and spent the extra money. And it's kind of cool to say that some of the guys were there. You know, that Art was there and Six Packs and Knickknacks and NJ Tree and Dark Joker's in and all those guys were hanging out. We were all chilling right in the same area of the show when I made that purchase. So, you know, I'm one of those guys who likes to have a story with my collection, you know, whether it's the day I had to go find it, whether I had to fly somewhere to work to pick something up, whatever it might be. But that's kind of cool that I can say I did get that. And look at this. The friggin' bat almost goes under his arm completely. That is insane. Absolutely in friggin' insane. Greg says the Red Hulk is awesome. I agree. He also said can't wait to see Abomination and She-Hulk. Yeah, I'm so interested to see how that's going to work out. Tim Roth, I think, is the actor, right? Oh God, I wanted to do that too. So many comparisons. I have this guy busted out because I love St. Patrick's Day, being that I am Irish, and I wanted to compare him to also to the Abomination. So there's all that green for St. Patrick's Day. Oh, disavowed action figures knocking things over. It's only a stream for disavowed if I knock things over. And you can see here, yeah, he makes Mr. Hyde look small as well. But all that green for St. Patrick's Day had to get him involved in some capacity tonight here on the show. Joseph says, anyone else wondering if Thunder Rosa will win this time or Britt Baker? I think they got to give it to Thunder Rosa tonight. I really think that they should have probably pulled the trigger at Revolution. However, I think that they wanted to wait to do it in her hometown. And she was on Busted Open podcast today, and I listened to her section on the podcast as I was doing some dishes earlier this afternoon. And she's so excited. She's originally from Mexico, I believe. So she has like her entire family here basically for the live show tonight. So I think that they were really holding off knowing that they were going to give her the belt in her hometown on the St. Patrick's Day show. I believe they had their big match last year on St. Patrick's Day. Dante, if you're still here, buddy, fact check me on that. I feel like they had their lights out match last year on St. Patrick's Day. I could be wrong. But I feel like there was also some significance to doing it on the St. Patrick's Day show. So they kind of held off. So yeah, I'm almost positive that she'll be getting the strap tonight. So there is our Wardlow, which I've only had for about a month or two, and our Scorpio Sky. He has the tag team belt here. I got this Scorp for Christmas from the GF. I had one from Walmart. I took it back with a receipt, knowing this might eventually go on clearance, and we got this off of Ringside for like $10 or something like that. So very inexpensive for Scorpio Sky. I do have Frankie Kazarian. I just never cared enough to open them. I feel bad I didn't. However, tonight's a good night to do it. They'll be open on my shelf. So let's rip in the Scorpio Sky. When I say rip, I mean rip. We're going to destroy this box. I don't really care. If I'm throwing boxes away anymore, I might as well not be so scared. I'm ripping it right apart here. I even ripped his picture because I'll be tempted to try to keep it. I'm just mangling this thing back here. And all right, he is out of the packaging. There is our Scorpio Sky. Pretty good head sculpt on this dude. I definitely see him making that facial expression, that kind of smirk. Now, granted, he was not in the same stable he's in now. He was not in Dan Lambert's stable. This is when he first won the tag titles back at the beginning of AEW. That's why he does have the belt with him here. But I'm pretty cool with Scorp. I think he's a pretty awesome wrestler. I believe he had a really bad back injury or a lot of back problems early in his career. And a lot of people thought that he would not basically be able to wrestle very long. So this is a big deal for him coming back and basically getting to the point he's at. It's a well-deserved. He did win the face of the generation ladder match, whatever it's called, which is a pretty cool thing last year. So now he's facing Wardlow, who won that same match this year. So that's kind of how they're spinning it. Obviously, Wardlow, we have all the undercurrent going on with MJF. If you're curious, I'm pretty sure Scorpio is going to retain tonight. Originally, I thought he might be a transitional champion, but I think MJF is going to come out and screw over Wardlow in some capacity. So that's my guess, if you were wondering. Scorpio's box, I wasn't that jazzed about, but let's take a closer look at Wardlow since it's a newer wave. This was part of Series 2 Unmatched. I've only seen 1, 2, 3. I've seen 4 of these in store. I have 2 Stings already. Don't need to see Sting unless it's the 1 in 5,000 chase. Tay Conti, I have not seen in person yet. 6-pack's got it for me, and I said I don't need it. So again, if I find it and it's a good day, maybe I'll grab it. If not, I'm not too worried about it. This is Wardlow's first action figure as far as I am aware. I think he's incredible. I think he's an amazing talent, and I think that he will definitely be a talent in AEW for years and years to come with a great career ahead of him. We're definitely going to get a program with him and Max. And we'll see where it goes from there. But high hopes for this guy as a wrestler in AEW. He's just, and he's great on the mic. Last week, he did get on the mic and he doesn't talk a lot on the mic because he was with MJF, and he got on the mic and did a great promo last week. So I thought he cut a great promo, did a lot to explain his story. Here it is. I'm doing it. I'm ripping it. Yeah. All right. So again, no boxes, especially AEW, because he's got to be creative opening them if you want to make it look nice. I'm sure Six Packs and Nick Nash will see this later and cry at me eviscerating this packaging. But here he is. Better look at him without having the plastic off the top. Additional head sculpt, 2 additional hands. He's a big boy too. A big guy. Let's get him out of the plastic. Oh, I ripped him in half. So if you didn't know this, AEW figures, which is actually kind of cool, they do pop apart at the torso like this. I don't like to do it, but you can. But the cool thing about that is they announced all those Supreme figures at the Fan Fest. They're giving you alternate versions of legs. So you can actually get multiple figures out of one in that Supreme collection. So here he is. And I'll say this. Okay. I was going to say the elbows on the Unmatched tend to be a little bit more structurally sound. And I think that still is a little bit better. Whereas the elbows on the Unrivaled still never seem right. But these are a little bit wonky. Head sculpt is pretty great. Let me just get this turned here. Get his arm back the way I want it. So there's the yelling head sculpt. I think that looks pretty great. I do like the kind of calmer demeanor head sculpt as well. Articulation, if you're curious about this guy. Very smooth shoulder joints on this as well. But I think I'm leaving the screaming head sculpt on for tonight. So they will be having a big TNT title match tonight. I'm going with Scorpio Sky to retain, probably due to some sort of shenanigans on the part of MJF. He's a big dude. He's definitely taller than Scorp is. So came out pretty great. All right, everybody. We're getting ready to call tonight. We're at about 41 minutes and 30 seconds in. We got done what we wanted to get done. Usually I jabber a little too long. So being an AEW evening, I think I'm going to get going a few minutes earlier tonight. Absolutely love this Abomination. I'm pretty excited over the Baron Zemo. Obviously, if I'm more excited about him, you can kind of tell where my head is with that. But as always, I thank you all for stopping by here at Live at 7:05. New hunt video coming out this Friday evening at some point in time. I still have a lot of footage left from ZoloCon weekend. I have our ride home. I have a hunt at Toy and Comic Heaven, but I think I'm going to put out a more traditional toy and video this Friday from some things I looked and found this past weekend when I was in the Lehigh Valley area. So probably going to hold off and get that out on Friday. Part 2 of ZoloCon is available right now over at Disavout Action Figures here on the channel. If you want to check it out, it's mostly music overlay, over the top overlay. Found a lot of cool stuff that day. However, a lot of conversations were being had, so I put some music over the top of everything that was there. But again, if you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Helps us out a lot. It doesn't cost you anything. Helps us grow the channel as we try to get to 3,000 subscribers here. Leave a comment down below. Hit that like button. Hit that bell for notifications. You're told we post new content here on the channel, like our weekly live stream here, Live 705, like our bread and butter, which are the toy hunts, and our rare but occasional review that I throw out there. I tend to review everything I buy here on 705, but every now and again, I throw a review out there on the channel as well. Other than that, hope everybody is staying safe. Hope everybody is staying healthy. Enjoy AEW tonight. If you're not an AEW fan, check it out tonight. TBS, 8 p.m. It's going to be a great night of wrestling. There's a cage match, 2 badass women that are incredible athletes taking each other on. That Scorpio Sky match is going to be great. So if you're not a wrestling fan, give it a shot. You actually might enjoy it. So thank you again, everybody. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.